And welcome to Sunday. It's our last day of summer racing here for the Laurel Park meet. So to kick things off right away, congratulations to Jamie Ness and Jamie Rodriguez. Jamie is just one ahead of Brittany Russell, but again, Brittany only has one in today. And then Jamie Rodriguez just, of course, winning his jockey meet title by a landslide.
Yeah. I mean, both conditioners, really good meets. Trombetta was on a pretty good roll there. The riders race, yeah. I mean, J. Rod just kind of rode the wave. But hey, how about yesterday? Axel Concepcion, our bug rider, 4 winners. And that was huge.
That was
I mean,
huge. And
he gave a great ride too on Field Pass at 4-1. Big overlay there in the fine stakes. Just kind of had a little bit of trouble early, but kept that horse's attention the whole way. Just off the rail, kept him kind of covered up, shifted out, and he really rolled home and responded late. So glad to see that. You don't see the bug riders picking up those mounts like that in the stakes too
And
often.
it was nice to see Field Pass come back and get kind of come back on that come up in Maryland with a win. So that was nice to see Axel Concepcion's first stakes winner of the day. The other stakes winner, we had a bit of a price, 44.20 on Gold Digging Broad
Yes.
for Miguel Vera, Carlos Lopez. That might have been Miguel Vera's first listed stakes winner. So
Okay.
that's exciting stuff as well. And congratulations to the handicap contest winner in Jose Gairon of Silver Spring, Maryland. Bankroll of $18.85 and 50 cents. Earned $11,375 in
Nice.
prize money, and it chose Breeders' Cup Classic as his berth for the next handicapping Breeders' Cup handicapping challenge berth.
I think that's out at Santa Anita, right? If I'm
Correct.
not mistaken. So
Yes.
yeah, congrats. I was kind of following that late. You know, they had the board up. We had it up in the press box and watching. A couple guys were involved in the tournament, and Scheinman was there. He was lurking. He was definitely lurking, trying to kind of hit again. But yeah, congrats to the winner. I really thought somebody would jump in late on that Dutrow horse. One of those guys
Oh.
at 300 or 400 on the standings at 8-1. I thought legitimately had a shot. That was kind of the horse you had to kind of take. Nobody really did. I think Steve Luca came from the back of the pack. He did, but kind of moved up into 4th or 5th. But that surprised me. But yeah, congrats to the winner and everybody. Thanks for everybody taking part in that Champions Handicapping tournament yesterday. We had the crab feast. So good day on all. The weather continues here at Laurel. It's great. Love it.
And best of luck to John and our winner yesterday on their next handicapping championship berths. Let's also talk about, Keith, as I mentioned, it's the last day of the summer meet. So that means we have some mandatory payouts in that jackpot super high 5, the rainbow pick 6, and the late pick 5. Let's talk about the beginning of today, though, and let's take a look at the track and see what lays out the rest of the day.
I was hoping that pick 6 stay around. Somebody hit it
Same,
yesterday for
yes.
12,000. My man Vinny Perrin, we're going to come in and do some damage today. We're going to try. Hey, we're still going to help the handle. Don't worry about that. We're involved every day, each and every day, as we're supposed to be as handicappers, right? So yeah, weather,
Absolutely.
it's good. Sunny, 80, fast, firm. Track played fair, both surfaces yesterday.
And let's kick things off for our last summer day here on the Laurel lawn, and let's kick things off with that early pick 5 on a dirt event. 3/4 on the dirt in this maiden, claiming 30,000 for the girls. 3, 4, and 5. Scratch in the 1 Giamea. Keith, you have the number 2 on top. Abby's Lucky Girl. You have a stat on the Ness barn that's going to kind of key up and help things now as she draws the rail post.
Yeah, really didn't run much at all in debut as a 2-year-old at Delaware Park, but off of this kind of break, 2 to 3, the 3-year-old maiden claimers. Off of this 180-day or more layoff, Ness is okay. Small sample, 37%. 3 for 8, 4 for 8 in the money with an ROI of 255. Yeah, tried to get on track that day, was wide. A little bit of a move to the quarter pole, didn't kick on. Number really doesn't stack up with a few of these in here. But hey, retool, you're going to see a different type of Abby's Lucky Girl today, I would think. And out of a mare, Stuttgart has had a couple good runners. You're looking there at Introduced, who is versatile. Turf, Durf ran some big numbers, and Sir Back in Black. So we'll see if this one, after the break, is ready to go. She's 7-2 now. I think she should hold about that. Ginger Girl, we've got a video of her. I thought last race was really good. She's really getting back to that where she was in her debut. So it took her a while to kind of get back and going, but she ran quite well here in her most recent race on July the 30th. A little bump at the break, was down inside and kind of steadily moved up to the leaders here at the quarter pole. Shifts out. Kentucky Rain just a little too good, opens up a daylight advantage. And you're going to watch this through the stretch. A little drift, kind of a little all over the place here was Ginger Girl. But kept on, I thought, with pretty good interest. She works here today. She'll have a target. I thought Jenna Maya was going to be the target. She might go. Pumpkin is fresh, coming out of a pretty good race in debut back in March over this track. Gets the blinkers on, Randy. Gets a little bit better. I think Pumpkin's going to get a lot of play with Forest Boy. Should be tough. So I'll take a new face here, and Abby's a lucky girl. But looks like the 4 and the 6 are the ones to beat.
As Keith Buesel goes 2, 6, 4, 5 there in the opener of that early pick 5. Now let's go to the early pick 4. Keith, let's see if you can nail this last summer early pick 4 ticket. Let's take a look, see how it looks.
When you see what I think of race 2, I mean, it's just a real crapshoot. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11. And then we had to kind of trim it down a little bit. Thanks, guys. Race 3, 2 deep, 1 and 8. Kieran looks like he might have it measured in race 3. Shorter prices, though. Race 4 with the 1 and the 5. Heals the Soul. Scratch the 3 Bourbon and Ice, who was going to be maybe a user for me. And then those MTOs are out. Uncle Andrew getting back on Lasix today could be a price shot in race 4. Wrap it up, race 5 with the 4 and 5. Carbonite, I think, might get on back on track. Had some trouble, the last couple. We'll talk about that. 24 for that ticket.
And there we have it. There it starts in this claiming 16,000, a turf event here for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won. 3, scratch the 5, 6, and 8. Keith, you have the number 10 on top. Science. This is in the barn of Mikey Gorham and Jamie Rodriguez.
Yeah, this drop, I hope, the third off of a break does the trick. I thought this one ran pretty good. Off 232 days, came back at Belmont. A little tougher field, and Hook's Maya Prince, second back, was a little bit better. This is the right move. Turf season, we're getting into August. We got a couple more months, but hey, this one needs a win. Okay, so I think the pace is going to be okay here. Star Shopping, smitten enough. Speaker it. Claudia Boy can be forward. Even Pico de Goro, the road might go through that one. Showed some pretty good speed down to Colonial, but I think Science off this drop. You've got Jamie Rodriguez, top rider here, going to be able to settle in a position somewhere mid-pack. The late run should work against this group.
And there we have it. What are your thoughts on Cloudy Boy coming back after that effort at that non-winners of 3, stepping up, gets a fast turf today.
Firm turf. Yeah, 2 good listed turfs in a row. Really big try. 2 back in the 2 in life. And last time out, just broke a little bit slow. Didn't get the easiest of trips. Was kind of sent up early into position between horses and just never really had that finish. I think Toledo has been on this one before, can drop in a little bit, save some ground around that turn. I think you're going to see a more sustained run out of Claudia Boy today. Bowie 2-step outside to inside, I'm hoping. And Class Wizard, out of that same race as Pico de Oro down at Colonial. Pico de Oro had kind of everything his own way up front. So if things get a little bit more heated, I think that's going to enhance the run of the 2 Class Wizard. But it's a wide open race.
It is.
Star Shopping's been good.
Yes.
Pretty consistent. Figs had that one little hiccup for 40, but certainly fits at this level. And I would think Barbosa might get aggressive from the inside today to hold that position into the turn.
Super wide, but Keith Buesel gets his first 4 on 10, 11, 3, 1 there in the second. In the third, we have a maiden claiming 12, 5. Going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 3, 4, and 5-year-old. Scratch in the 2, Spunky Irishman. Scratch in the 3. Oh boy, you have the rail horse. Disputed claim for Kieran McGee. Gets Carlos Lopez here today, returning back to the dirt.
Yeah, I mean, you look, inside, outside. Disputed claim, Bar Down Express, both dropping aggressive moves here. I think one of the 2, they're gonna graduate today. But Disputed claim goes turf to dirt, strong angle. This kind of layoff, very strong angle for the barn. I think you're going to see Lopez go early. Get that early position, bring a little finish. A little flat there against Better, but I think today should stay around.
And there we go. There we have it. And you go with the number 8 to the outside and Bar Down Express, the other McGee horse. Martina Rojas Pound, a Bug Boy coming in here and trying to get the weight off, and honestly the best way to go with this one.
Yeah, almost stole it, these 2 yesterday with Bob Marco going longer, opened up a lengthy lead. Still Great Boy grudgingly that last 16th of a mile. Great ride by Axel Concepcion, patient ride on Shady Money to get the money there in that race. But Bar Down Express, beaten favorite a couple times, goes 3rd off the claim. This drop, positional speed. Again, both of these 2 should stay around. They're going to have to deal, though, I think, with Sweet Syntax up front. So we'll see if that one really hampers the chances of the favorites. But I think one of these 2 come away victorious. Prince Fire, I think you'll see that change of tactics going back to what he did 2 back to try to make that run off the pace.
All on McGee there in the inside and the outside for Keith Fusel in 1857 there in race number 3. Race number 4 starts the Rainbow Pick 6. Now that carryover hit yesterday, so we have a brand new pool, but I have a ticket, again, very simple structure ticket to get you started. I did end up with a single, although I almost didn't. So 3 wide in races 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, 12. Keith, you land on the number 5 in that opener of the Rainbow Pick 6. In race number 5, I go 5, 6, 7. 1, 7, 10 in race number 6, and 7 and 8. I double down with the 2, 4, 5, 6. And then in race number 9, I single in on the number 10, Lady Ensign. We'll have a video on Lady Ensign in just a few minutes, but let's turn the tables back here to race number 4 that starts the Rainbow Pick 6 in that starter optional, claiming 20,000, 5.5 on the turf for the 3-year-olds and up. Keith, let's go ahead and take a look at Heals the Soul back in July at Monmouth in that 3rd race, going mid-turn onward.
Yeah, had a little break late April to mid-July. Gulfstream Dirt, and then comes up here to Jersey and gets a really good trip as the 2-1 favorite. They're battling up front, pretty good internals, and this horse is going to be able to kind of just slip through inside and just kind of grind it out here and get the job done. Going away by a length and a quarter. Gonna need maybe a little bit of help today as well. This field shrunken now. The MTO is obviously out, and even Bourbon Ice was probably going to be off the pace. But I think with Golden Can, the filly, kind of take on the boys here, inside stunt and even deep cover, it's going to be enough. This horse is perfect on the turf. They mean business. Want to find a spot, a little bump up. I think Hills of Soul gets it done. You don't have this one in your top 4.
No, I don't. And just taking a look, I'm just wondering if we're going to get a little bit of a bounce factor, although I just haven't seen. I've got to see this. While this one is consistent on the
he's
turf.
4 for 6 in 2023. Likes to win.
No, I get it. I totally get it. But I'm wondering about the whole, I have a weird, it's just a gut feeling, and I'm wondering about this whole shipping situation. So, but it does help. Listen, there are a lot of things that help this horse out, including Carlos David, who's not only doing well 3rd after the claim, but as a barn trend recently, 4 for 14, and then 4 seconds and 1 3rd. So 9 for 14 in the money 3rd after the claim as of late for Carlos David.
Yeah, this horse is a winner. 7 for 17 lifetime. I got the 1 underneath. Uncle Andrew, your top pick. So I'll let you talk about that one coming in here for Chucky Lawrence.
Let me get to the notes really quick.
You got the notes on the one.
It's on the other one, excuse me for a second, as I just kind of get reorganized with that.
I wanted to hear your
Uncle
reasoning.
Andrew.
What do you got?
So, we're talking about Uncle Andrew, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised for the move, but it's just a smart and winning one in the Punch Bowl with Punch Bowl 2, Determined Kingdom, and Embolden. The last one was also on a rail post going to the lead, so you have this one who's Victor Carrasco in the saddle, going to be gunning for it on the rail. It's just a setup that I really like, and it's the drop down from that Colonial that's just really, again, very attractive. That field was sizable enough for a listed stakes company, so why not? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have this one in your exacta as well.
Looks like they targeted. This is a reclaim for the connections. Found that spot. The Lasix goes back on today and has some runs going longer. So this horse does have a bottom. So I don't think he wants to be too close, but sit, a couple lengths off of it before trying to unleash that run from the top of the stretch home. So there you go, race 4. And deep cover, Thomas Morley. He's come in here quite a few times and gotten the money. Not so much recently. The last couple years hasn't been as potent. And you may be a little bit worried, concerned. You see if avoided claim June 2nd. But given a little break, subtle drop, back numbers really work. I think this one's going to be put in the race with Cedeno right from the get-go.
Correct. It's going to be a little bit of a matchy-match race up front, and then possibly some of these picking up at the end. Keith Fusel, 5-1 at 12-2 in race number 4. Race number 5 to kick off the late pick 5 is a claiming 25,000 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3-6 furlongs on the dirt. Scratch in the number 7, Switzer. Let's talk about your top selection in the number 4, Carbonite for Raymond Gifter Jr. J. Ron Barbosa gets the call.
Yeah, Carbonite, a little bump up off the claim, ran pretty good. Ellis Park caught a little wide there. That track, talking to my man Coach Joe down in New Orleans, who's been watching that track, inside has been good, and the speed's been all right for a lot of these races at Ellis. So I thought that was a respectable try. Mac Daddy, 2 second-place finisher, comes back, winning an allowance with an 86, and then just tossed the last race at Laurel. Steadied to the break, check 5/8. has positional speed. There's not a lot of true flow. Yeah, Fafrum kind of got out there whistling along last time. We'll see if he brings the carbonite. Barbosa's been riding well. He gave 2 great rides on the turf yesterday. I think it's going to transfer the dirt today. Clean break, stalk, and pounce.
There we have it, and underneath you have the number 5 Liberty Star, Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, coming and returning to the turf after we're back on the dirt. We're on the dirt. Sorry, I mixed it up in my head last minute, but just sitting off a bit of a pattern change in those last 2 efforts after the win on June 3rd.
Yeah, I think this one's going to have to be forward. Yeah, got chewed up in a little bit of a pace battle last time out, but not a huge drop. So you're looking at this barn, they can be aggressive. Still a little bit protect for 25 to me. Talking about, I think this horse goes out, maybe takes aim at the 3 wants to go. If not, Liberty Star may inherit the lead early because I want to see Carbonite kind of prompting. We'll see.
We'll see what happens there. 4, 5, 6, 2 for Keith Fustel in race number 5. We will be back after this commercial break to talk about the rest of Sunday's card.
And they're off.
And we're back to talk about the last summer racing day here at Laurel Park. Let's kick it back on the Laurel lawn. That kicks off the jackpot super high 5 only in race number 6. Remember, we had that mandatory payout pool in all of our pools going out today. Claiming 16, never win 3, a mile and an eighth on the turf for the 3-year-olds and up. Keith, you and I both have my boy Colton on the top. This is in the barn of Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, just really looking to just kind of clinch in that title.
Yeah, I mean, this horse, last couple turf tries are good. Has won both of them. 2 back up at Delaware on that softer surface. Really showed a lot of determination, kept on grinding. So, again, looking at the race, the setup, it's a mile and an eighth. There's not a lot of true speed. Stimulus Maker looks to be the speed of the speed. And it looks like his race to lose, too, because he's run well. He comes out of a big race 2 races back. Well, it was a double key race, if I'm not mistaken. Addison Bohr ran very good, coming on late yesterday in the stake. So Stimulus Maker back out to a route. I think these 2 kind of go ahead and set the flow. If it doesn't get too demanding up front, they should stay a long way. Maybe that mile and an eighth, though, is just a touch too far for Stimulus Maker. I just like my boy Colton. He looks like a kind of horse that can dog you and keep going. Now, the only 3-time winner taking advantage of the conditioning here is Dare to Fight. Didn't run awful when bumped up to 25 last time. Back to 16 here. I think this one, again, Linda Albert has a very good meet, one of the better meets in a while for her. So I think this one's going to go ahead, just steadily move up, wants that extra ground, and the late push is going to work. If you're looking for a little bit of a price, Prince of Caps. I went back. I think he's back on a turf course that he likes. I'll toss the last at Mom with a little premature move into that flow. That was it. 2-back try, yes, 7th beaten 6 lengths, but had momentum in mid-stretch, was shut off at the 16th pole. This one 3rd off of a break for Claudio coming in here for a reason and going to be an okay price. You have 15-1 on the morning line for Prince of Caps.
A good jackpot super high 5 race. Plenty to offer there. You and I, so it's funny that you and I both land on the exact same exacta, but Keith gives some value underneath in his top 4 selections in 10, 7, 4 Prince of Caps and 3 Dare to Vite for Linda Albert.
And from a betting standpoint in that race, you're right. The logical look like the 7 and 10, but if they're too short, I'm keying around the 4 and the 3, top and bottom in the exacta box. That's where I think we're going to get the value in there.
There we have it. And race number 7 is a claiming 5,000 a mile on the dirt here for the 3-year-olds and up. Keith, you land on the number 2. So do I. Military Hop. And speaking of that, let's hop back to one of his races back in early August, just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
August the 3rd. And this is a good try. Now you're knocking at the door. This horse has got a lot of seconds on the page and seconds recently. Visually, a good effort here, 2 to 3 wide, then shifts out about 6 wide to close in behind Anti-Poison, who kind of had it all his own way there at 7/8 of a mile. Got away with some quick pace, but dug in. This one closes up nicely. Should be able to kind of stalk Good Luck Chuck today, who I think is the main speed for Kieran McGee and Carlos Lopez. I just worry, take advantage of the condition. Yeah, this is what you're supposed to do. But man, this guy I think might find a new home though after this race.
Probably.
Getting J Rod, I think his stalk can go by. But Rowe's going to go through. Good luck, Chuck. This is the kind of right spot for him to kind of go a long, long way. If you're looking for value, we'll talk about it a little bit later. But TJ Aguirre, good to see the win yesterday. Good ride from Sheldon Patient, swung out a real big surge with Tidewater. Tidewater, a little spot though. I went to out at Del Mar. What kind of a little sports bar near the track, but I think it's changing hands. But there you go. There's my touch on Tidewater. But unequivocal, I think ramping back. Very bad post last time, but still ran on willingly. This guy, I think, can kind of hold up and pair a mid-60. It's going to work here today with Alvelo.
As Keith Usa goes 2-3-1-7 there in race number 7. Race number 8, feature race of the day, allowance optional claiming 40,000. 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Keith, you land on the number 3 Out Kissed here in the barn of Robbie Bales, Xavier Perez. Let's take a look back in March in that last win at a 62.5.
I tell you, 4 years old, only had 5 starts, but man, has flashed some serious talent. Look at the comment here we've got on the Equibase line. When ready outside, driving. Loaded for bear, midway on the turn was Out Kiss. It's going to supposed to pretty good horse. You got Alice Love Josie. I know it's a shorter field. Steinbeck in there, and then went up to New York. Tried the Bayshore, the grade 3, Lasix off, no good. Plenty of time, retooled. We'll still have to improve. I got a 2-time winner against a horse like Baracho, a 9-time winner. But I just think, Robbie, he just doesn't just willy-nilly, enter these horses, put them in their spots. He's taking his time. The workout pattern looks good, strong, solid. Baracho's super fast. Pit stop man may go. I think this is a horse. First time gelding with the X-Man, they've done some damage before these two together. Can sit that stalking trip and move into it because the pace is going to be hot in here.
It will. So it's going to be really up to Xavier just on how this horse is doing. Of course, they're probably also just kind of using this as a coming back off of the layoff campaign. So we'll see what happens there. As you mentioned, Baracho just doing stellar. Your number 4 going to the lead. Mikey Gorham, Daniel Centeno, 10-1 on the morning line. Again, Keith giving us some value underneath.
Yeah, Gorham second off the claim recently. He's kind of positioned the optional claimer about 26-27% works. I thought this one would bring a run. First off the claim was just dead dull against Baracha. So hoping he can kind of turn things around. They're kind of staying with him. So I think he's going to get a perfect trip with with the speed in here. Should be able to save some ground and work an inside-out trip to move into it today. And you're going to get, I think you're going to get 8 or 10-1 off that last line.
That's gonna. I like that angle with that going to the lead. I'm a fan of that horse. But Keith Fusel goes 3-6-4-7 there in race number 8 and our nightcap. Our last race of the summer meet here at Laurel Park is a maiden claiming 30,000, going 5.5 on the turf for the 3, 4, and 5-year-old girls. No scratches in this one. You and I both land on the number 10, Lady Ensign for Mike Trombetta, Victor Carrasco. Let's go ahead and take a look back at that effort in June. 3 back, in that first turf try.
Yeah, you thought she's going to be okay turf or dirt, and then the last 2 dirts is like, no. So we saw Nwanda win for Trombetta. He's had a good run this summer. The turf or dirt, it doesn't really matter. But Lady Ensign here, kind of out to the front, really never was asked to upper stretch, kind of spurted away, just couldn't hold against a couple capable runners. Golden Heart, I think that was the turf debut for that one. She goes up to Delaware, I think, after that and wins. And came back here and ran pretty well. And then circle home a next out winner. There's nobody like that in this field. It's an aggressive move. Yeah, I'm worried a little bit about the drop. But, man, if Intercups the 6 wants to go, I think she can let her go and sit outside and take the measure and go on here. I just don't see anybody emerging from the back that has that kind of a kick. So,
correct.
But definitely, I'm worried about her last 2 on the dirt because she shouldn't have laid down like she did in both of those races.
I don't know, Keith, because once they get a taste of turf, if they go back to some of these, especially fillies, they know what they like and they know what they don't like. So that's how I see that with that double-digit loss in both of those dirt efforts after that.
Yep. Molly Tapper, no problem there. A hand-time race down at Colonial. Maybe the outside was just the turn for the victory. Both runners that ran 1-2 finishers were down inside, worked the better trips. This one moves positionally to the right spot inside. We saw Rudy with a horse hit with a first turfer recently.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember. It doesn't matter.
Wasn't yesterday.
Yeah, but Molly
Otherwise I would've
Tapper
remembered.
certainly works. I think this horse from Penn, Alan Bedard, had a horse, in my opinion, run well here yesterday. Going to come back, jock trainer combination. A little bit of a sluggish beginning up there at Penn, but closed on well. And Gambette is another one. Busy. Yeah, good try, but stepping up. Has to bring even a stronger run if she's going to go ahead and beat these. 10-2-4-3 to wrap it up. Yeah, good summer meet
There
here.
we have.
at
Yeah,
Laurel.
it has been a good summer meet. It's been. We've enjoyed it. We hope you have as well. Let's head on over to lightning round
Okay.
to dig in a little bit deeper into what Keith Fusel has going on in the lightning round and his best bet, excuse me, tongue-tied here in the summer. Race number 4, the number 5, Heals the Soul, Carlos David, Javian Toledo.
Yeah, 5-2 on your morning line, 2 for 2 on the turf.
Yep.
I think, did have that help with the embattled pace at Monmouth, but I think today is going to be, pretty close, pretty similar. I think this one just likes the turf and likes to win. 4 for 6, I think, on the year. That's really, really strong. So let's get it done, Toledo and Carlos David.
And then let's take a look at your value play in race number 7. The number 1, unequivocal for TJ Aguirre, gets John Avelical.
Yeah, unequivocal is a horse
There
I
we go.
think kind of jumped back, got back on its game, a improved number from a wide trip. Inside today, you got to come out a little bit, but I have this one picked third, I think. But if you're looking for that exact to try enhancer, there's your value in the 1, unequivocal for TJ Aguirre.
Unequivocal, I had to say it so I had to get it right, but there we have it. Unequivocal, TJ Aguirre, Jean Avella for the value play for Keith Fusel, his last value play of the summer. And we will be back for racing in Pimlico for you guys, but before that, just a reminder, mandatory payouts, of course, brand new pools, but things will stay exciting here, hopefully, and then we will head on over to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches, and best of luck to everybody with these mandatory payouts.
Everything must go, Callie.
Yes.
It's like a big sale today at Laurel Park. Everything's got to go. Hopefully I can take something home with me and pay some bills, but yeah. Great summer meet. Hopefully we see some people at Timonium and then back over to Pimlico. But glad you guys have been along for the ride, and good luck this afternoon.